So I want to really just place a few points. I mean, today morning we woke up, the newspaper gave some very interesting statistics. It seems the reporting of crimes against women has gone up to something like 500% in this year since since the December 16th case. And I say reporting of violence against women. I'm not saying violence against women has gone up. I'm saying that clearly it was a hugely hidden problem, which is no long. Clearly, women and girls are coming out and reporting to the police. I'm not going to hazard why or anything. We can discuss that in more in detail. There are people from the police here also. But I think one of the things I would like to sort of state right up front is that if we genuinely want to create safety, we need to look at it as a wider issue than responding to violence. Responding to violence alone will not create safety. There are sort of deep-rooted issues why there is unsafety in our cities. And one of it, I think some of it includes the nature of our cities itself. We have extremely large divided cities today. Our cities are divided into very clear pockets of affluence and extreme deprivation of services. And this is something we need to recognize. So whenever we point our finger, for example, this Nirbhay case, it was very easy to point our fingers to those 6 men. I wonder what would have been the case if those 6 men were living in Vasant Vihar. We would not have been so quick to judge them. So there is a class element to this also. I'm in no way justifying or this thing, but I'm just saying that we need to recognize the environment that is producing men who are willing to use violence of any form to with impunity, with the understanding that they can get away with it because nobody is going to catch them for this. So in that light, I do think that policing plays a very central role in responding to violence after it has taken place. Because after all, it is only the police and the legal system which can deal with it after it happens. And I would say both, because we have clearly been seeing over the past few years that there are areas where the police has not done its work and there are areas where the legal system is not able to do its work. So I think we need to address both very strongly. Now, therefore, when we come to the issue of creating safety, who are the other stakeholders we are talking about? Because I agree, before we began this roundtable, there was an informal roundtable, and there is this issue that, Delhi is so unsafe because of the police, because lack of policing. And I would tend to agree that that is not a correct assessment. Having said that, I do think that the Delhi police has not performed its job also. Yeah? But they are not the only stakeholders. I would like to put that on the table. We need to recognize that there have been severe deficiencies in the policing in many areas. I do believe the police is open to change. And we've actually identified several sort of groups of stakeholders. The first area, of course, which I already mentioned, is the whole area of policing and legislation and providing support to victims of violence. The second area is really in terms of the cities. I mean, when we look at, we can, I think, talk about the cities today as a separate issue because I think the nature of violence in cities is different. I think the fact that India is becoming increasingly urban, and there are projections that even by 2050 we may be 50% urban, means that we need to begin to address the way that our cities are being planned, designed, governed, and managed. There are serious issues in the way that cities are being designed and governed. So therefore, the whole area of urban planning, providing public transport, providing services to the citizens, whether it's public transport, whether it's all other amenities, whether it's something as basic as public toilets. I mean, we very rarely think of this, but Delhi has a severe paucity. Even Delhi, which is the capital city of this country, has a severe paucity of public toilets. And the third very broad area is something which has been continuously said in the last 2 months post the Nirbhaya case, is this whole issue of what we call mindset change. Mindset change is a very broad issue. And under this, I would actually say that there are 2 parts to it. One is actually changing the way people think, which we know is a very difficult and deep and long-term process. And there I would really suggest the main area we need to focus on is to work in schools, work with young men in our communities so that this is the future of India. It is our youth who can change the way the country is. Other than changing the way that people think and the attitudes, the second area we need to look at is what is known as behavior. For example, if I go to a police station, the behavior I expect from the police is that he just does his duty. He does not judge me for who I am because it doesn't matter what he thinks of me. He should put down my FIR. Whatever I say, that is his job. After all, it is the first information report. Similarly, all other officials and all individuals, even in society, if there's a resident welfare association, market trader associations, community-based organizations, school principals, they need to do their duty. You know, we have been seeing in the past 2 months, the other very disturbing issue that has come out is the amount of violence against our children in our cities, whether it's in the homes or whether it's in schools. Therefore, I suggest that when we are looking for solutions, we need to understand that it is a complex problem which needs multi-pronged strategy. And there is no simple answer. There is no simple answer. There's no magic bullet. It is hard work to create a better society. And I think that the way that the Indian sort of citizenry has engaged for the first time, I think, in the past 2 months, we must capitalize on that. And we must continue to engage common people in changing the society, because somewhere, I think, post-independence, there's been a way that I think the citizens, the common person in this country, has felt that they don't have enough of a voice and they cannot do something, you know. And I think that is the need to empower the community to say that if you work and if you make your institutions accountable, then we can bring about genuine change.